Hi everyone, Vanessa from the Confident Women's Collective. How are we? I wanted to talk today about when people do shitty things, and what I'm talking about is other people's behaviour. So when people do stuff or they say stuff to you, or their behaviour impacts you, and they're kind of just shitty. They've just done some shitty things. What it does to us. So we can't control what someone else is going to do. We can't control what's going to come out of their mouths. We can't control how they're going to respond or react to any given situation. That's completely out of our control. But what we do have control over, or what we're in charge of, is how we feel about it. And I get it. Sometimes we can do some really shitty things that just make us feel awful. They might make you really sad. It might make you angry. It might be really hurtful. It might disappoint you. But all of these feelings, they're yours because they're in you. So it doesn't matter what someone's doing or saying. It's about how am I responding to that, or how am I reacting to it? And that's what I want to talk about is what we do with ourselves when someone's doing a really shitty act. Because we can be triggered in these feelings. Hey Jody, good to see you on, lovey. We can be triggered into these feelings, and then we kind of just play them out, and if we kind of have had that feeling before, we kind of play out the same way. If it's a person who's close to us, someone who's in our lives, then it could be a pattern of behavior that goes on. So you want to really look at, okay, what is it about what's happening that's kind of creating these feelings in me? Because we're in charge of us, no one else is. And I get it. Sometimes those feelings can feel really overwhelming. Like sometimes it can be so hurtful what that person said to you, or what they've done to you, or it might you might be really angry and you don't know what to do with the feeling, because it can feel all consuming. So what I want to share is how we can actually shift that. So the first thing is to just check in and go, well, do I want to feel this way? Is this really about me? Because if their behavior is their behavior, that's about them. It's not about you. You didn't ask them to say what they said. You didn't ask them to do what they did. They did it and they said it. But what you do with that is in your control. So if you're having an emotional reaction to something, then it's really looking at, well, why am I feeling this way? Do I really want to feel this way? How can I reframe what's been said? Yes. So here's a really cool tool, Jody, is we learn to reframe. So we learn to reframe how we feel. We learn to reframe what that person's doing or what that person's saying. Because when that person says or does something, and we've got a strong reaction, and it's a negative strong reaction, and we're feeling really bad in it, we kind of have a choice. We can keep sitting in it. We can get angry in it. It's like, it's almost like we can marinate in it, and we can keep obsessing over and playing it over and over in our heads, and kind of creating those feelings to get stronger and stronger, which does not serve us. It doesn't help us as an individual. It just kind of puts us in this victim place. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be a victim in my life. And so what happens is we get into this place, and then we kind of just keep playing it out, and we keep thinking about it, and we play the story over and over and over again, but we are always bringing up the same feelings. It's almost like going into a movie theatre to a movie you don't like because you've just got tickets to go. Why would you do that? You wouldn't. If you don't like the movie, you're just not going to go see it again, are you? It's the same kind of thing. Why do we keep playing the stories over of what someone said or someone's done to us in this whole dynamic? And then what happens is we kind of, we're playing this out. So what we want to be able to do is reframe it. And when we can reframe something so we actually become the victor in it, the champion in it, or we actually can be neutral in it. And that's always, some of the things to ask you is, we want to be able to change how we're talking about it, change how we feel about it, and be able to sit back and go, well, it's not about me, it's about them. it's their behavior. They did it. So why am I letting it impact me? And when we can just step back, and this could be something that happened years ago, it could be something that just happened recently. If you've got a situation or an event that happened with another person that you have a negative feeling about whenever you reflect on it, then it's time to let go of those feelings. You know, whether it's a marriage breakdown, whether it was someone, I don't know, gave you a really hard time at work, or something, or your boss did something or said something, or someone stole your idea, or you had a fight with your brother or your parents, or you know, whatever it was, we can reframe it where we stay the champion. And some of the ways to do that is to be able to go, well, is it really mine? Is their behavior really mine? Did I actually do anything? And there might be something in it that you may have said, maybe you've done, then you own that part, and you know, you take ownership of that. But it might be a case that they just dumped on you. You know, they just verbal diarrhea all over you, and you're sort of trying to reel that, go, okay, well, what am I going to do with all this information that's just been dumped on me? It's always about checking in. Is that really mine? Is it true? Do I want to believe it? What's going to work best for me? And then reframe that. So you want to turn the story around. You want to create your own movie that's going to feel better for you than the one that made you upset, if that kind of makes sense. So what I kind of was doing was, you know, when something's happening, we might have the emotional like feeling about it, but when it passes, because emotions, feelings, they pass, what kind of keeps them kind of circulating is when we get caught up in the story of it. So we can actually shift our emotions very quickly. I think, you know, Tony Robbins says you can do it in like 90 seconds. You can move yourself up the emotional scale, but you want to be checking in. You want to be questioning, well, you know, why am I feeling this way, and what's a better feeling I could have, and move up that way. And in the process of doing that, you're reframing the story, you're disassociating from it. And so what happens is that's just their stuff, and you've just got yours, and that is a lot easier to deal with. So, you know, if you kind of want to learn some more of these skill sets, jump into my group. I'm constantly teaching them, or jump into some of my programs, because this is the stuff that we need to be able to do in order for us to stay in charge of our lives and not constantly be the victim in it. So there, I just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully it landed, and hopefully it resonated with some of you, and I will talk to you later.